Welcome to another Reggae Steady Ska Transatlantic video call with Joachim Oelscheltz here in Cologne, Germany, and with Charles Benoit in Rochester, New York.
Way over in Rochester, home of, home of Charles Benoit. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds good. And some of the guys in your band are from Rochester too, I guess.
Yep, all of us in my band are from Rochester. Yeah, we're all from the general area. One guy from Niagara Falls, he drops in every week or so, but that's about as far out as we go.
Yeah. Today we are going to talk about. We're always talking about an album when we meet virtually, and this time it's the album Introducing by. What is the band called again?
Jah Jazz Orchestra, the Jah Jazz Orchestra. I always want to make sure I point out that, because I'm about to really tell you how much I love this album. My friends have said, you love every album you two talk about. And that's because we decide in advance to talk about albums we like. We're not going to come in here and talk about albums we don't. We're not going to waste our time talking about stuff we don't like. So yes, here's another album we both really like.
Yeah, it's a really cool album, and I didn't know the band before, Jah Jazz Orchestra, and I just received an email a few weeks ago, and sometimes it takes a bit longer to listen to the albums and to the music and to read these emails, but when I did, I was really surprised by the quality, very high quality.
I had not heard of them before. Probably that's why they called their album Introducing. It would make sense. But it's the brainchild, from what I can piece together, of Yves Marcotte. He's the bass player for the band. And from what I've been able to piece together, he is an incredibly talented bass player with straight up jazz credentials. The man is a jazz head. And he has got several projects. This is just one of them. His other projects, he's got one called Colmest. I'm going to butcher this French, which is always fun for me. And Charbyte, Chabyte. These are just more, and then with the one I think is most interesting for me, Always No Monk. I wonder, it's an unusual name, Always No Monk. So obviously Thelonious Monk. He has these wonderful jazz projects, and he's brought together a different set of musicians. There's just two of the trumpet players appear on other of his works. Shems Bandali and Zachary Kirk. They're on. Sorry, Shems and Zachary, for mispronouncing your names. They're on other projects with him, and they've come and played trumpet on this straight up wonderful jazz album with incredibly high production value.
Yeah, I think so too. I wasn't sure about all the tunes, but I think they are all standards, or there are no original compositions by the band, but just arrangements, but with a very high quality. And there's some songs I'm not such a jazz head, but I like some Joe Henderson records and Dizzy Gillespie and Cannonball Adderley. I think there's some these eras, 50s, 60s, 70s jazz records that I really dig, and they show that they are very serious jazz musicians, and the reggae edge is, or ska and reggae edge is very cool too, very cool.
And that's very true, that Yves credits in his little biography he has on one of his websites that he's most influenced by Duke Ellington, Thelonious Monk, and Charlie Mingus. So you can definitely hear where he's coming from jazz-wise. And his arrangements of these are really, he took some tricky songs And he didn't take low-hanging fruit here. He really went for some challenging songs to arrange. And he did, one of them I've got to talk about is Mantasca. And it's a rearrangement of the incredibly important Dizzy Gillespie song, Mantaca. And Mantaca is Spanish, Cuban slang word for heroin. And so when they did Mantaca, it's pretty famous in the jazz world as being one of the first, not the first, but one of the first jazz songs that brings together the Afro-Cuban sound. And he used, Dizzy used Pazzo as the percussionist, and he brought in Gil Fuller on that song as well. It's a challenging song, and real big props to Yves Marcotte and the Jah Jazz Orchestra for taking it on. Very exciting piece.
And my favorite tune is the Joe Henderson tune, the Black Narcissus. And this is also a tricky one, I think. It's not the one that you would expect a ska band who tries to do a jazz standard. It's, there's a quite long but very, very good brass intro. There's no rhythm section at the start. And then after a while, they play these cool harmonies with the brass, and then the beat gets in, and it's really cool. Black Narcissus from Joe Henderson in the original, and I think it's from the 70s somewhere, mid 70s.
And that song, the Jah Jazz Orchestra's version of it, it is the most Scatolites sounding tune, I think, on the album. And there's a little piano riff in there that calls to mind Confucius. If you know that Scatolites tune off the top of your head, a little piece in there that really reminds me of that. But it's not just the Scatolites. They would bring in, if you're a fan of the Scatolites, New York Ska Jazz Orchestra, Toulouse Skanking Foundation, another band out of France, the Scamanians, another band out of southern France, because the Jah Jazz Orchestra is from Lyon. What is in the water there in France? I got to get me some, because it's producing great stuff. But if you really enjoy the jazz feeling in your ska, this is definitely a must-have album.
And I think it's striking how many very cool instrumental ska records, ska jazz records we had in the last months. I mean, maybe it's just we like these, but we had the Tommy Tornado and the Clerks too, and what did we have?
The Higher Notes just the other day.
Yeah, Higher Notes, and so many, and they are really great quality. Great.
So I guess that's a plug to, if you're a ska band out there and you're doing the jazz stuff, send it our way. It'll get to the top of the pile fast. I also want to point out something they did production-wise. Something they did production-wise in this album that really deserves a lot of credit. You can actually hear the bass solos. And now, probably because the man behind it is a bass player, he made sure you could hear the bass solos. But I find it so disappointing on so many jazz albums. When they get into the bass solo, you think, is the record still on? Is the power out? And you have to go to the other room to, oh, wait. I really like that they make it to the forefront so you actually can hear the bass and really enjoy what he's laying down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the record will be out. I've seen pictures of the record. It will be out at the start of November, in a few days from now that we are recording this.
Right.
It's not sure when you see this here, but it's you should definitely check it out. It's on Brixton Records, a Spanish label that has a very good catalog too. They don't do lots of records, but the ones they do, they are all quality, and this is one of them.